When it comes to ranking fighters throughout history, there are always going to be divided opinions, and this is especially true when talking about the toughest boxers ever. Whether you are an old-school boxing fanatic or a follower of the modern era, these rankings cover every generation of the sport. While most rankings have a variety of judging criteria, this list has just one: sheer toughness and grit. Let's get right into the top 10. 1. George Chuvalo. Professional record, 73-18. Chuvalo may not have the widespread fame of Ali or Tyson, but he is considered by many as the toughest man to ever lace a pair of gloves. He fought the best of the best whilst competing in the golden era of heavyweight boxing. The likes of Ali, Joe Frazier, George Foreman and many more could not knock this guy down. In fact, in his 93 career fights, he was never knocked down once, only losing inside the distance when stopped on his feet. 2. George Foreman. Professional record, 76-5. We go back to the heavyweight division for the second toughest fighter of all time. Big, George Foreman stood at 6 feet 4 inches and was a ferocious force inside the ring. He is known for fighting across multiple eras, with his career spanning a ridiculous 28 years. In terms of famous and memorable fights, Foreman was part of perhaps the best of the bunch, facing Muhammad Ali in the Rumble in the Jungle in 1974, which was his only career stoppage defeat. 3. Marvin Hagler. Professional record, 62-3. Just making it into the podium positions is one of the most exciting fighters in the history of the middleweight division. Marvelous, Marvin Hagler was a joy to watch, combining efficiency and power with pure entertainment. Standing at 5 feet 9 inches, Hagler proves further that the smaller guys in the sport could be tougher than some of the giant heavyweights. Perhaps best known for his iron chin, Hagler was never defeated by stoppage in his entire career, and has famous victories under his belt, as well as being part of what many believe to be the best fight of all time, when he faced off against Thomas Hearns in 1985. 4. Muhammad Ali. Professional record, 56-5. Does this man need any introduction? If we are talking about names that transcend the sport of boxing, look no further than Muhammad Ali. Some people seem to forget how good Ali actually was, as his fame can overshadow his ability in the ring. Ali is easily one of the toughest men to have set foot in a ring, and he inspired generations that have come after him, with countless legends shaping their fighting technique to emulate what he did. Ali was never knocked out in his career, and arguably fought in one of the most competitive eras in the history of the sport. 5. Mike Tyson. Professional record, 50-7. When Tyson fought, the world stood still and watched. His fights were often short, with many ending in the first round, showcasing his ability to finish opponents quickly. Tyson's intimidating presence, both physically and psychologically, played a significant role. His intense stare and aggressive trash-talking were part of his strategy. As the youngest heavyweight champion of all time, his early career was a string of knockouts against seasoned fighters that put many new eyes on the sport. His combination of raw talent, psychological warfare, and the timing of his rise in the heavyweight division made Tyson one of the greats. 6. Saul Canelo Alvarez. Professional record, 62-2. Mexican legend Canelo is a top contender for the crown of the GOAT of 21st century boxing so far. The 34-year-old has had an astounding 66 fights in his career and, remarkably, is yet to be knocked down. That's right, not only has nobody been able to knock him out, but he's never even hit the canvas. At 5 feet 9 inches, his size is deceiving to say the least, but it hasn't stopped him from winning world titles in 4 separate weight classes. 7. Larry Holmes. Professional record, 69-6. Speaking of Holmes, he just edges Holyfield and comes in at 7th place in the list of the toughest boxers of all time. The 6 feet 3 inches heavyweight fought into his 50s and faced almost every big name available to him. His left jab is etched into the sport's history and is unanimously considered one of the toughest to face, with few fighters ever managing to emulate the ferocity of the Holmes jab. Holmes would win his first 48 fights in a row on his way to winning the World Heavyweight Championship. 8. Evander Holyfield. Professional record, 44-10. Another name that many are sure to recognize on this countdown is Evander Holyfield. He was a huge part of what many regard as one of the golden eras of boxing. Known as the real deal, this guy was a dominating force in the ring throughout his peak in the 1990s, putting aside some legends of the sport on his way to unifying both the cruiserweight and heavyweight divisions. The likes of George Foreman and Larry Holmes were on Holyfield's hit list, with his most famous victories arguably coming against Mike Tyson. 9. Gennady Golovkin. Professional record, 42-2. One of the true icons of the modern era and a name that transcends boxing, Golovkin spent years dominating the middleweight division, where he was known for not only his attacking ability, but also being able to take huge hits and shrug them off like they were nothing. Many British fighters have met their fate when coming up against Triple G. Amir Khan and Kell Brook are just two of the former world champions on his impressive resume. 10. Pancho Villa. Professional record, 89-8. To start off these rankings, we go back to the early 1900s and pay homage to Filipino icon Pancho Villa. Standing at just 5 feet 1 inch tall, his size did not stop him being one of the most formidable fighters of his era. He tragically passed away at the age of just 23, but before that would have over 100 fights in his young career, with 89 victories. Famously, Villa was never knocked out, and his name has become legendary in the sport, where he is now a member of the coveted International Boxing Hall of Fame.